I'm Jamie Spradling, and I'm a program coordinator with North Carolina Mental Health Consumers Organization. Before that, I worked for Therapeutic Alternatives as an AP in their community support program. Prior to that, years ago back in West Virginia, I worked for a place called Shawnee Hills, which was actually another community support program, and actually worked at the Roark Sullivan Lifeway Center, which is a men's shelter, doing fundraising. I actually met Donna a couple years ago, and she had told me where she worked, and we talked about work together. And then I met her, or saw her again the following year at a Christmas party, and she had actually said there was an opening and suggested I come in because she knew my background. So I went in, and that's how I actually really got involved and found out the organization existed, was through Donna. I just want people to be able to understand and learn from that, understand their own mental illness and understand that they can get better. They might not be able to get as, great as they want to be, but they can definitely get better. So just helping people to understand that they can improve. So working for this organization allows me to have the time to focus more on groups of people and individuals as well. We get to travel to the clubhouses, and we're here at conference, so it allows you more time with people. Fundraising, that's what I'm really interested in too, is finding ways to raise funds for different programs. That excites me. I don't know why, it just does.
My name is Eva Eastwood, and I'm Program Coordinator for North Carolina Mental Health Consumers Organization. I've been familiar with the organization for a few years, just because of having knowing the director, the active director now, and it really piqued my interest when he told me what his job was. So for several years, just knowing him as a friend, him telling me what he did. And when I went into the Human Services Department at Wake Tech and decided this is something that I really think I would enjoy doing, he encouraged me to come and apply for the position that was available, and that's how I ended up there. My co-op came up, and so it just kind of meshed perfectly. I love helping people, and I love helping people with their journey and their path to recovery. I am a firm believer that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And this is really something that I truly, truly love to do. I love to help people discover that they can be more, that they can have a fulfilling life. I love our organization. I love our membership base. They have had some tremendous challenges, and they have just triumphed and soared from that. So it certainly has been, it's healing for me as well.
Hi, I'm Donna. I'm a program coordinator for the North Carolina Mental Health Consumers Organization. I've done a million different things, from fast food to I was a nutrition counselor. I teach group fitness classes. There's very few things I haven't done. I have a degree in engineering. I have several family members who have some mental health issues, and just the idea of being able to work with an organization that was sort of directed toward helping people to improve their situation was real appealing to me. It used a lot of the pieces. I had done programming for other organizations, and so it used a lot of the pieces that I had done in the past and kind of brought them together in a really interesting and exciting way for me. The best thing about working for NCMHCO has got to be the people. Even in the midst of conference chaos and life everywhere, every time I feel like I'm just absolutely at the end of my rope, that someone will come up to me and give me a hug and tell me what a wonderful experience they're having here, and their people are just so loving and so genuine, usually, about what they feel. and willing to share that, which a lot of people and non-consumers tend to not be. Like, we're very closed off as a culture about how we feel and what we expect. And here, people, they'll just accept you for who you are, and kind of let you embrace that with them, and be without any obligation to kind of expose anything you're not ready to. They're just willing to let you be who you are. Mental health in North Carolina, it just seems to me to be in a lot of transition right now. When I go out and do meetings with the LMEs or the clubhouses or different cover groups, one thing that we would like to be able to do is help to fill in some of those gaps as the whole system seems to be transitioning. We have a unique situation compared to some of them in that we get funding from the state, but it's funded in such a way that we have a little bit of flexibility to work in, as long as we can put it in a couple of different categories of what we're doing. We have some freedoms that other groups don't have to fill in some of those service gaps and programming gaps. So we would like to continue to grow that community and be there to help with the transition, and then kind of identify what we're going to be able to do as an organization to keep consumers all across North Carolina, which is sometimes a real challenge, connected and invested in growing. We want to grow with the needs of the consumers in North Carolina so that we can help them to be the best they can be.
I am Bruce Spangler. I'm the Executive Director of the North Carolina Mental Health Consumers Organization. I started as the Program Coordinator. I liked the fact it was consumer-based, consumer-run for consumers, and that really interested me. And I had been doing my own version of RAP for many, many years, which I think is good for everybody, and it's the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. The first day of conference, when coming in, I thought, these are my friends. People I only see once a year, but I always enjoy seeing everybody, and it's just a huge thrill for me to get to see them and talk to them. We have a great staff that I really enjoy. There's always those little things that, just like any family, you have squabbles, or those squabbles within our organization. I think we're a big family. The people I just really enjoy being around. I think I always tell people I'm one of the luckiest people because I really like my job, and I like the people I work with. And so many people through life don't like what they do and don't like the people they work with. And I have the best of both worlds. I really enjoy both of them. I would really like to, as we know, North Carolina is a huge state. There's probably about 10,000 diagnosed persons with mental illness throughout North Carolina. We only have, as we discussed last night, only about 550 members right now. And I like to make sure those other people, whereas they may or may not ever become members of our organization, are getting RAP or getting leadership training, which is self-advocacy training, which is really important to know where you stand and to encourage people to give you what you really need in life. I always think of my dad was in the hospital for several months, not for a mental health issue, but for a physical issue. And if it weren't for family and himself self-advocating, then he wouldn't have gotten the care that he needed. And it just kind of upset me when I saw people who didn't have family or friends or weren't outspoken, the difference in care that they got. And I think that's one of the major things we can teach is people to self-advocate. And I'd like to have that done throughout the state. And maybe if we could teach 10,000 people of the diagnosed, of course, then we can start working on the undiagnosed people and help them out. But I think my vision is pretty large. I like to help out as many people as we can, help them help themselves, actually.